Today is Monday, June 29th. It's about 10 a.m. and it's 75 degrees. We had horrendous winds this weekend. We had really hot temperatures last week, and today it's only supposed to get up to like 87 for the high. So, and it's calm. And our coolers are off. It's so quiet. Doesn't happen very often in the summer. So, anywho, what can I say? We are kind of, oh, you can see my husband got the shed put up last week. It was so hot, and I can't believe he just worked like crazy on it. I cleaned out some petunias. This one looks a lot better than it did. And I cleaned up that one a little bit. And I did this as well. We had this phlox. Well, you could see some winds broken some branches off of it, but it was laying over flat one afternoon. My husband rescued it. So things got a little beat up. We've decided, because this other lantana, and it's a red one, is coming in. It's got some green on it finally. So we decided to leave it because that'll be two red ones at this end. We were going to pull that one and move it over to the tree well, but decided not to. I went through and I cleaned up some of the salvia, deadheaded them or whatever you do to them, taking off some of the blooms and seeing if that helps them grow a little bit. But they're struggling. This is pretty. These have been blooming, but the blooms aren't lasting very long. And I think what it is in the summer that we lose them much quicker. And then in the fall when they start blooming, they do a lot better. See that cone back here in the sago's gotten even bigger, it looks like. It's huge. We're getting closer to our project to do the walkway here, so I'm excited about that. I did some leaf removal. You can't tell over here, but I had leaves everywhere, so I had removed a lot of it around our patio area. I cleaned out these beds, and I've got a couple of petunia seeds in the house that I've got started, but I don't know if they'll actually make it. But I did clean out these beds, so getting them ready for some kind of flowers if they make it. I also have some, what do you call them, propagations in the house, but they were supposed to be for out front, so I don't know. These are doing good. This little guy is the one that I transplanted from over on the other opposite side of the yard, and I think it likes its new home. It's never really faltered after I moved it, and so I think it's got a shot over here. So I'm happy about that. Now my husband's building beds back here, and I think they'll be really cool looking. I'm excited to put those in. And here's our shed. I can't wait to, I haven't figured out what's going in it yet. So it is going to help us get more organized. We planted a zucchini. I had a sprout come up in the house, and so I brought it out and stuck it in here. I am dehydrating cherry tomatoes today, so I'm making some sun-dried, in air quotes, tomatoes. I've picked off over a dozen squash bugs on this plant. I don't know that we're going to have any luck with these squashes whatsoever. We found, I wouldn't have told you, but this is a watermelon plant. So it's a sugar baby. I don't know how I planted that here, but I did. So we have our first noodle bean. That's pretty cool. And it's getting taller and taller. And then the fun thing is that these bounce back. This is no longer as yellow. That one's doing better. And these two, even though the wind got them again, they still are not doing that bad. I mean, they're still alive. They're trying to do something. So that's cool. And then I don't know that I ever really talked about this bed, but the reason why it's got marigolds in it instead of like our food is last year we wound up with a bunch of gnarled roots that pointed to a nematode problem. And supposedly if you plant marigolds and then you till them under, you got a good chance of working these nematodes out of this bed. So that's kind of what we're doing here. It's a chance for it to spring back maybe. And I'm learning what I can plant in here maybe next year that will be nematode resistant. And that might be what's in this block wall as well, because I haven't pulled up the plants to see, but if I pull them up and the roots are gnarled, that points to nematodes. And the fact that we feed these and water them really good and we're still getting these sickly looking plants kind of points to something going on in the soil. So, but we shall see. The Tithonia, and then you can see the sunflowers getting really big in there, but nothing against the wall has done that well. There's a tomato that's finally turning colors. I've got quite a few cherry tomatoes to pick. And I do have to scramble. I have to pick them almost orange in order to get them before the birds get them. So this is about as red as I let them get. And even then, they'll still sometimes peck them. But I got more of a shot of getting them at this stage. So I planted this transplant. It's doing pretty well. I'll show this is one of our biggest peppers. You can see the peppers have gotten huge. We planted a zucchini down here. I've got lots of eggplants that I'm going to be picking. I have enough okra finally. Let's see all the eggplant. There's a bunch. So I think this is a fairy tale. I don't know if I put a marker in here or not. Yeah, I did. Oh, it is a fairy tale. The okra is doing good. There's a big old grasshopper. I gotta get it. Cowpeas. This is spaghetti squash. This squash. The Malabar spinach. And there's a watermelon in that bed. Since I gotta get a grasshopper, that's gonna be my garden diary. Today is Wednesday, June 24th, and this is what we got out of the garden. 3 eggplant, about 8 or so okra, 5 peppers, Fresno peppers, and the rest are, well, there is some plum, yellow plum tomatoes, 2 of them in here, and then cherry tomatoes. Today is Saturday, June 27th, and I got this out of the garden. I got quite a few okra, about 3 yellow plum tomatoes, and a bunch of cherry tomatoes. It's Monday, June 29th, and this is what we got out of the garden. 1 plum tomato, a handful of okra, a big one that kind of got out of my sight, some peppers, and some cherry tomatoes.